What it do, E-World? Good morning time, good afternoon time, whatever the case may be in your part of the world. Crisscrossing wires. I guess that view is okay for now until something interesting or worth seeing. I will move the camera as necessary. Fastest e-bikes in 2022. Let's see, anything in here I haven't seen. I ain't got no new videos yet. There's a fast e-bike by some crazy guy named Crisscrossing Wires. Anyway, what it do, E-World? If anybody is my watch is dead. Let me charge it up. If anybody else is home in the house on a Friday night. Anyway, don't look like I'm gonna be able to find no good new videos. I don't know how long I'm gonna be in here, fellas. I just want to get this started. Try to come up with some kind of game plan. Possible UFOs.
Greetings and welcome to the Richard Dolan Show, where every week we fight the good fight. Yes, we do. Glad to be here with you. Lately, I've been doing my best at a fresh rethink of the entire UFO situation. Honestly, I try to do this at least once a year. With a subject like UFOs, I feel it's necessary, at least for me, to ask myself fresh questions, or at least to look for fresh answers to old questions. Learning more and more about ourselves.
They look nice and crispy.
Our history, and yes, about UFO history too. And I just find it's always very good for me to do that. And I've been making pretty good habits
Anyway,
the last number of years. It's good for me. So,
a few days
preparation for something
back or a while back,
weekend, which I'm going to discuss very briefly at the end of this.
I was discussing batteries and why I chose these over the Molicel. First and foremost, it was a lot better deal on Black Friday. Normally, these cells right here are $5.99 per cell, and the Molicels are $6.99 per cell. Normally just $1 cheaper. On Black Friday, the sale was so awesome. Both of them were on sale, but this one was on sale even more so. So, like I said, where they normally only $1 difference in price, on Black Friday, these were $3 difference in price. And then the next, right after the Black Friday sale was over with, they went right back to $5.99 and $6.99. So, let me tell you, after doing some research on the cells, as I said, of course I researched all that day because I had until midnight to make up my mind. And as I said, these cells are 45 amps also. However, they're temperature limited, meaning if they get extremely hot, then they only put out 35 amps per cell. And guess what? I'm totally fine with that. Because first of all, I don't intend to run any cell until it's extremely high. Thermal runaway will not be happening with this guy if I can prevent it. Now, you can't always prevent everything, but you can if you have a good BMS. BMS? What you said, you don't like BMSs. I ain't say I ain't like them. I said I couldn't use them because I need maximum current flow, and I don't want nothing limiting my pack. You don't buy the most expensive or the most efficient high output cells if you're going to limit them. You might as well have got the super cheapies if you're going to put a limit on them. Now, yeah, I know they sell high power BMSs, but still, they still have their limitations as well. And I'm not paying a ridiculous price for a BMS that I know I would bypass if it came down to me needing some more power, and that's probably always going to be the case because I'm probably always going to be trying to squeeze the last drip drop out of everything. Now, the most important argument I did not make on that day as to why it makes no sense to choose a Molicel over this battery, especially if they were great savings, if the only difference in the two is capacity and how much total capacity they can store and how much total current they can discharge. Now, a Molicel is 4,200 milliamp hours. These are 4,000 milliamp hours. A difference in 200 milliamps. And I already said about the discharge rate. Now, at a savings of $3 per cell, and the only disadvantage would be capacity or more current output. If I was building, well, like I am, a battery 22s12p, I could just make my battery a couple extra P to equal up the capacity and the discharge rate. I can make it 22s14p. And guess what? And still save money at that point and have a higher total capacity and a higher discharge rate. Because if I went 2 extra P, that's what I would get. 2 extra P would give me, you know, I could go as many P as I wanted. Because for one thing, my frame, I have pretty much, I'm not going to say unlimited space, but when I did the calculations of how many cells I need to make my pack and how much room is left over, space is not an issue. The only time it would be of consequence as to getting a Molicel over this cell as if space were a factor. Now, if you guys remember the lightweight bomber bike, Smoky Surons, that bike had the tiniest battery compartment you ever did want to see. And that's the biggest complaint with that bike is they can't put a sufficient size battery in that bike to give it any decent range, which was why I end up putting an Onyx battery in that bike, because it come with a 10 amp hour. Anyway, point being is, if you're limited for space like that bike, of course you're going to want the most dense cell that you can get as far as capacity and current, high current discharge. You know, because you're limited on your space. You want to maximize that little bit of space you got, so you want the most optimum performance cell there is. Then in that case, yes, you go with the most efficient cell. Now, my 22s 12p battery, I've got enough room left over in my compartment that I could probably put a, let me keep it real, a 22s 16p. So I got enough room to put 4 extra p if necessary. But 4 extra p ain't necessary, and neither is any extra p. I'm still going to build a 22s 12p, because 12p, even though the motor cells have more current, more milliamp hours, more storage capacity, these cells will still give me plenty of amp hours and plenty of discharge rate. So, like I said, at the end of the day, it was an easy choice for me. Save money, a lot of money. And in fact, if you were to look at that on that particular day, when these cells were $3 cheaper, and when you're talking about 300 cells at $3 a piece savings is $900. Not only could I build a battery with a couple extra rows of P, I can pretty much build a whole entire another battery of almost equal size. Not quite, but almost. So $1,200 worth of batteries, $900 savings. Yeah, wasn't nothing to think about. So if somebody asks me why did I go with this cell, that's why I went with this cell. Anyway, man, alright, I'm getting tired of putting these damn stickers on for a minute. Let me stop with that for a minute. Let me show you guys, because I know I don't have a whole lot of time, camera-wise, unless I end up doing a double stream today. Alright, this is the side, my side panel. Well, not my side panel, but a side panel. Same as my bike. This is a matte version. I have the high gloss, but it's the same side, because I got a couple frames. Anyway, I'm using this panel to figure out how I'm going to configure my battery. And this is what I came up with. I put these blocks together, these honeycomb holders. I put one in a rectangle shape and another one. So this is 6P and 18S in this direction. 18S. I need 22S. So this is another 4S 6P. Okay? Half of the total battery system. So this is how it will be situated in my battery compartment. This is going to be the shape of my battery. Probably kind of hard to see because it's black, but that is going to roughly be the shape of my battery. Now, yes, I did say this total was 22s6p because, again, this is half of the battery. I need to build 2 packs like this. And they're going to eventually go side by side. So 1 pack will go in there like that. And the other pack is going to go right beside it. Alright, let's just say, I know you guys know what I'm talking about, but just for somebody that can't picture what I'm talking about, I'm going to have 2 packs, and they're going to be side by side like that in my frame. And I just barely have enough room width-wise for my cells to go horizontally, 2 packs together like that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make two packs and make a sandwich and put it in my frame. Now, I'm sure mostly everyone knows how to set a battery up, but maybe not. If you're making, okay, this first section here is 18S. 18S means 18 cells in series. In series means positive to negative, negative to positive. That means they're going like this. Like when you put batteries in the flashlight, they go like that down in there, positive to negative, one behind each other. So when you're setting it up in your battery, you need the first stage to be coming in that direction, the second stage to be going down, the third stage to be coming up, the fourth stage to be going down, and so on, etc., etc., etc. So they're in series, and in this way they're in parallel. That's 6P, 6 cells in parallel, 18 in series. Now, I did say I was going to be experimenting with how I was going to connect these batteries, and I decided to go with the nickel copper sandwich, as they call it. 1 piece of copper sandwiched in between 2 nickel strips, basically. But I was just doing some experimenting earlier, and I noticed with this big monster soldering iron that I have, that even after I make my welds, like on my little 12-volt battery that I made, I opened it up, and I noticed I was able to easily solder that nickel, you know, just as a little extra, you know. I just wanted to see if I could actually solder smoothly on those cells. And you really got to know what you're doing when you're soldering with these cells, especially with a big heavy duty hot gun like that, because you know, you got to be in and out it with your soldering. You can't have that gun sitting on these cells all day long, because it will heat them up really quick. And you surely don't want to send your cells in the thermal runaway with your soldering iron. Hopefully I'm not in here just talking to myself. Maybe, hopefully somebody is watching my live stream. Unfortunately, I can't really do no whole bunch of chatting, because otherwise I won't get a damn thing done. And I don't plan to be working on this battery for weeks. I'm gonna knock this thing out super quick, fast, in a hurry, and have my pack up and running hopefully by next week. If not, before the weekend is over with, knowing me. But who knows? It all depends on how much time I'm going to have to work on this thing. But I don't plan to be all year long on no damn battery. I want to get it popping. I got some miles to shut. And I'll say this, man. I said I wasn't going to speak on none of that negativity. And I'm not. And I damn sure ain't letting no negativity bring down this positivity that's happening in my life right now. But even if there were no negativity coming at me from all angles, I'm going to always do some shit talking when it comes to being competitive about something. I mean, what's the fun in racing and, you know, being competitive if you can't talk a little shit? And I'm going to talk a little shit, but that's all it is shit talking. You know, what I mean by that is saying I'm going to have a fast bike. Yeah, I'm shit talking. My bike going to be fast. I want to have the fastest bike. That don't mean I'm going to have the fastest bike. I want to have one of the fastest bikes. But that don't mean I'm trying to be an asshole or shit on people. I like to win. Difference between being a winner or a loser. And some people are losers. Yeah, they don't like it too much. Oh well. Standing out in front of the house just after 9:15, chatting with the neighbor. I caught movement green colored lights on the corners were slightly rounded to the east and west. Let's see. Let's take a peep at this chat room real quick. Mr. Blaine, you the only one up in here, sir? How you doing, Mr. Blaine? But this one, I picked it because it's another black triangle sighting at night. And that is a definite pattern guess it's Friday night. People out having a good time doing what they do. Trying to think. You was starting to tell me about your bike, and I said I was gonna look it up because I wasn't familiar with that particular bike that you said. But you don't have to mention it now. We can talk about it in messaging. But I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. I know that's right. Let me tell you, I do the same thing, Mr. Blaine. I'm glad that you see or feel like it's worthy watching me and possibly something to learn, because I know how I feel when I'm watching channels and I'm trying to learn something, man. I consume so much information. That's why I feel like I have overloaded my brain. I need some more RAM, because that's all I do is intake information. If I'm not making a video or working on a bike, I'm watching YouTube. I'm watching and learning something. It is so much knowledge on YouTube. Unlimited knowledge, and it's free. It's all good. It probably wouldn't have been a good time anyway, Mr. Blaine. It was a hectic day for me too. I tell kids right now, ain't no way in the world I would be taking out any student loans or any of that in this time, when you can go on YouTube and learn just about anything for free. You know, hell with them student loans. That's the trap. That'll have you on the plantation. Yeah, that you sound just like me. I'm YouTube all day. I don't even watch regular TV at all. Alright, I know this getting a little monotonous with these stickers, y'all, but look, I gotta do it. Can't not do it. Stickers gotta be done. Anyway, if I'm too far off on the camera, y'all see what it is. Y'all know what it looks like. Let's see. Maybe I can put this camera. Different spot. So yes, guys, notice how the direction of the cells and how they're going up and down, so we can do those series connections. So basically I will have electrical connections coming from there to there, then it'll be on the opposite end. Then, you know, you'll see. And that's exactly why I got the nickel strips that I got. They are awesome. They actually save you a lot of welding or putting together strips. Using those ones with the double. What did I do with it anyway? Man, it's around here somewhere. We're gonna have to find it in a minute. How'd I let that get away from me? Man, these are 21-700s as far as capacity, and especially these right here, they definitely have a lot of capacity. When I charged this 12-volt pack last night, I was charging this with an 8-amp power supply. 8 amps. They were already a little more than halfway charged. They were sitting at 3.5 volts. It literally took a whole lot longer than what I thought to charge this little pack at 8 amps. Trying to remember. It might have been an hour and a half, maybe more than that. And maybe 2 hours. Which at 8 amps, that's kind of a lot for that size pack. So, you know, I like that. That means those cells definitely have a lot of capacity. That's for sure. 6P, 6 times 4,000 milliamp. So that's 24 amp hour. 24 amp hour is with what this little 12-volt battery is. Now, does that look like it? But yeah, this is 12-volt, 24 amp hour. You know, like I said, my 2 packs are going to be 24 amp hour a piece. So 2 of them in parallel, it's going to be a 48 amp hour pack. And let's see. So, you know, normally a 20S pack is normally 72 volts. Everybody knows that. So I'm going for a little bit extra voltage. Surely can't do what I want to do. I would love to be going high voltage, but as you guys know, well, it depends on who's watching. That damn ASI, I love that controller. It is an awesome controller. The software is out of this world. But the only thing is, they only allow for a 22S battery configuration. That is the highest voltage you can run. I would definitely love to be running a 96 volt or 108 volt. But I guess ASI figures they can't give you a controller that can produce all of those amps and allow it to work on high voltage as well, because they would just be asking for problems, because people would be blowing up motors right and left when you got all those amps for one, and then you can run high voltage as well. So yeah, that just means the output power, the watts, would be off the chain. And they know people would be blowing up all kinds of stuff, blowing motors up and getting on their nerves. So I'm pretty sure that's why they limited it. And the thing about those BAC, let me tell you something else about those BACs. And it don't matter if you got the 2000 or 4000 or the 8000, they are potted. Meaning, if you try to open that controller up and do any modifications on it, potted means they use this substance inside that they put in there. I don't know what that substance is, but it's basically like some rubber cement or plastic cement that they put inside of their electronics, so it freezes everything in it like a mold, so you can't work on it. You know, I guess they don't do any controller repairs. When somebody blows it up, I guess they just toss it and give them an entirely new controller. Ain't no working on those controllers. They have made it impossible to work on them or repair them. Unless you're going to crack it open and chisel out all of that substance that they put in there. It's like they poured liquid concrete inside of there, and it's gotten solid, and all the components are just locked in place. You ain't doing nothing. Won't be no shunting more than the BSI. I mean, ASI. Oh, one other thing I left out. And that means I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot of welding. I'm going to have to work on my DIY welder, because I said I wanted to make my own high power welder. And let me just tell you, I was successful at making my own welder. And we're going to talk about high power. It is way overkill as far as high power. I mean, I went to weld one of those nickel strips as a little test weld, and even on the lowest setting, it totally melted the nickel strip as soon as it made contact. Oh man, I'm tripping. I'm putting cells that ain't got no, damn it. See, I'm gonna run my mouth. But yeah, I mean, it was so powerful that it literally melted the damn nickel strip. So I turned the power level down. It still was melting them. And I had it at 12 volts. So I even took one cell out of series, did it 8 volts. 8 volts was still melting the strips. So then I just tried a single cell, and then the only problem with the single cell, that is actually a little too low, because the operating voltage is supposed to be around 4 to 5 volts. So it actually needs a little higher than one cell. So what I'm going to have to do is make a little circuit with a potentiometer that I can dial the voltage up and down from 2 cells, and be able to dial that voltage in. Because anyway, yeah, that's gonna hold me up a little bit. You see how big this pack is? I definitely don't want to be trying to hold this pack up to my welder. That's not going to be fun. And I tried putting the leads. On my welder so I could, move them around and weld. But that welder, obviously, there's a certain resistance in the electrodes or the probes, and when you use some cables, it's changing the impedance, and it's not the same. Whatever those ohms are, that wire has a certain resistance, and it just throws it off. So you can't use those cables. Let me see what my time looks like on this GoPro. 42 minutes. I think I got roughly about another 20 minutes possibly on the GoPro. Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't been checking out what you've been talking about. You're gonna build one using the microwave? Man, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put some kind of variable on it so I can dial it up and down. A capacitor? That's a good idea. I didn't think about that. Are you gonna have to, if you use a capacitor, you say that 500 farad, that's a pretty big capacitor, so I guess you won't. I was gonna ask you, would you have to put a power supply or something on it to keep the voltage up, but I guess not with 500 farads. But how many welds could you actually get out of that? I don't know how fast that's going to discharge welding. 500 farad, that's pretty big though. Okay. Well, I tell you, send me the link of whatever channel that is you were watching. Whoever was making that welder. I'd like to check that channel out myself. I'm going to talk over top of this for a second, because 500 farad is, they don't even make them that damn big, man. That's ridiculous. Car stereo caps, super caps, or what do they call them? Stiffening capacitors on only 1 farad, so I wasn't even listening. He said 500 microfarad, so I was saying farad, but it was microfarad. All right. Talking over top of this screen recording. Take it easy, y'all. And remember, this video was initially broadcast live stream, and I have a lot of live stream videos I'm going to be reposting as regular videos because they're not being seen because they're in the live section of my YouTube channel. So go check out the live portion, the live section of my YouTube homepage. There's a lot of builds and mods that I live stream that you don't see on the regular feed. Alright, y'all. Take it easy. Peace out. I don't think I'd be sticking around for this part either. But anyway, let me see. What else can I talk about real quick? Man, guys, I just got to tell you about riding a high-powered e-bike. Now, I'm sure all of you guys know just how awesome an e-bike is, period. I mean, I got addicted to riding the e-bike when I got on my first e-bike, and that only went 28 miles an hour. And I thought I was in heaven cruising on an e-bike. It just felt great, felt awesome. But when I tell you guys how awesome it is to have pretty much like, it feels like I have unlimited power at my fingertips. Now, I honestly have never driven a Tesla, but they say a Tesla is like, you know, instant acceleration, and I can imagine, because we talking in I think they work off like 400 plus volts. I don't know how many kilowatts, but I mean a whole lot of watts, and the acceleration is almost instantaneous. I think there's 0 to 60 in like 2.5 seconds, something like that. So I mean, that alone feels amazing. I gotta tell you, man, that bike of mine at 30,000 watts, when I have all of those battery packs on there, and I can actually deliver 400 plus amps, it feels like I'm on a two-wheel Tesla. Even though I've never driven a Tesla, it's gotta feel like that. I mean, when I hit the throttle, it's just like, it's just awesome. I can't even describe it, fellas. But you gotta do it. You gotta get there. And even if, you know, you don't have to do that crazy level like I'm doing. I'm pretty sure if you got a regular stock e-bike and you modify that to go, if you're doing, yeah, on a regular e-bike, if you got a regular e-bike that's doing 30 miles an hour, if you get it to go 50, 60 miles an hour, you'll be able to experience the feeling that I'm talking about right now. It's just a little bit extra with what I'm doing, but man, that acceleration is nothing like it. And especially when you're accelerating like that and it's no noise, it's no sound, it just makes the whole experience different. I mean, I've been in fast cars, I have fast cars. I'm an old school Mercedes man. Not new Mercedes, old school. I can't afford the new ones, but I like the old ones anyway. And I say that to say I got an E55 that I thought was the fastest thing I've ever driven, and that thing is fast. But man, the feeling of acceleration that bike gives me, it feels a whole lot faster than that E55, even though it's not. But that initial acceleration is. There's nothing like it. And I am addicted. Oh, you talking about Rich Rebuilds. I think that's who you talking about. They build the electric side-by-side. And I watched that channel, Rich Rebuilds. He's the guy that, repaired a Tesla DIY. And he's made just about everything electric. I love his channel. He's even made a Tesla into petrol. They put a V8 in a Tesla. But I don't know if that's who you're talking about. But yeah, they made an electric side by side. Actually, they had a bad incident happen at the electric convention. One of their batteries shorted out and started smoking. But anyway, Gizmos Electronics, I've never heard of those. I mean, that's a channel. I'm gonna check it out though. But you've never heard of Rich Rebuild? Man, if you don't watch them, you need to check that channel out, man. It's called Rich Rebuild. Yeah, I think, like I say, they do awesome work. But what happened, the battery case had a screw going through it that was too long. And the guy that made the battery case forgot to cut the, the surplus screw off. And riding around, that screw punctured the pack and caused a dead short. So it has prismatic cells in it. Prismatic cells like those lipos, like that's in that Zion Cyberbike. And the only good thing about those cells is when they go into thermal runaway or short out, they don't catch on fire and burn stuff down. They just smoke out. So they vent, as they call it. Started venting. But yeah, it wasn't a good thing. $50 for the belt drive conversion. Now, I don't know exactly what video or conversion you're talking about, but I can attest to that $50 belt drive conversion. Now, I don't know if he got the same one I got. I bought a $50 belt drive conversion off of Amazon. It's a universal kit. I haven't used it yet. In fact, I got it out there. It comes with a sprocket, the belt, the little gear for the motor, and that was actually $50. Now it's not super high quality, but it will get the job done for sure. All right, it took me all that time, almost the entire GoPro clip, to put the damn stickers on and put the batteries in the honeycomb. And matter of fact, in the honeycomb spaces, I got one row that I forgot to do, so I'm missing a row. Let me finish that row. So very, very time consuming for sure. I don't think I got to do any welding. Now, I mean, I don't know how many people would still be interested. I could throw another battery in there and continue on if you guys want to keep going. I don't know. What time is it? 11 o'clock? I don't know, man. Maybe I'll take like a 10-minute break when this GoPro dies and come back. At least I'm going to try. I'm pretty sure I'm not done for the night. So I probably will take like a 10-minute break when this thing dies and come back. That's if anybody's interested to see me keep going. If not, it'll be back tomorrow night. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm definitely not the same as I used to be as far as motivation. There was one time where I would sit down. Once I started on a project like this, I wouldn't stop until it was done. I'd be working on this battery and it would be done. When the sun came up tomorrow, I'd be done with this battery. That's how I used to get down. Okay, alright, on the pictures. I mean, I almost feel like I want to finish this battery. It really ain't going to. Okay guys, so that's the end of the first part of my battery build. I'm gonna let this video stay up for a day or two, and I'll post the second part. But yeah, as I said, I'm gonna do some screen recordings on all my old live streams and you know, repost them. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Crisscrossing wires, my battery build. Not only that, this was my first battery that I built for myself, and some things changed. You know, the technique that I was using, I went from welding to soldering, and even the size of my battery changed. It ended up being a 21s14p. So, you know, like I said, some things changed along the way, and you'll see that. Alright, take it easy, take care, crisscrossing wires. I am out. Peace.